The courtroom is silent. Sita is asked to prove her purity one last time. In the familiar telling, this is the tragic finale. We expect the earth to split open beneath her feet and pull her away forever. But in one specific telling, the story veers entirely off the established path. Rama refuses to let the earth claim his wife. He steps in, stops the descent, and ensures they spend the rest of their lives together. This defiant resolution belongs to the Ananda Ramayana. Composed sometime around the 14th or 15th century, this text takes the entirety of the traditional epic, the exile, the kidnapping, the massive war, and compresses it into its very first chapter. This timeline illustrates the text's highly unusual structure. Once the war concludes, the real focus begins. The remaining 8 entire books dedicate themselves exclusively to the decades of Rama's peaceful reign, tracking his governance, his pilgrimages, and his family's hidden adventures. If the defining conflict of Hindu mythology is treated as mere preamble, we have to look closely at the events filling those long decades of peace. The traditional epic leaves a lingering theological problem. Ravana was a Brahmin by lineage. His defeat, while necessary for the world, saddled Rama with the spiritual burden of a grave sin, requiring strict religious atonement. To clear this spiritual debt before the Lanka campaign begins, Rama decides to consecrate a shrine to Shiva here at the coastal site of Rameshwaram. He dispatches Hanuman on a highly specific errand to fetch an appropriately sacred stone from Kashi, hundreds of miles to the north. The exact astrological window for the ceremony approaches quickly. Fearing they will miss it, Sita gathers sand from the shoreline and molds a temporary substitute with her own hands. Hanuman eventually returns, bursting with pride over his incredibly fast, long-distance delivery. Rama politely offers to use Hanuman's stone instead, provided Hanuman can remove Sita's sand sculpture. Despite his legendary strength, Hanuman cannot make the fragile grains of sand budge a single inch. Pure devotion outmatched sheer physical power. Hanuman's ego dissolved on that beach, though managing the pride of a nearly invincible warrior would require ongoing attention. The Ananda Ramayana ignores boundaries between mythological eras. It drops an overconfident Hanuman directly into a confrontation with Arjuna, the great archer of the Mahabharata. The clash escalates until Narayana himself steps in to separate them. Even the most devoted figures require periodic checks against their own overwhelming capabilities. While the heroes wrestled with their own egos on the surface, literal assassins emerged from deep beneath the earth. 2 rulers of the netherworld, Ahiravana and Mahiravana, managed to abduct Rama and Lakshmana, intending to sacrifice them. Hanuman launches a rescue mission into the subterranean realm. Instead of relying on brute force, he targets his enemy's source of magical protection, carefully extinguishing the sacred lamps that keep them invincible. As Rama survived threats in the dark, the basic laws of biology were being casually rewritten back in the quiet of Valmiki's forest hermitage. In the established story, Sita gives birth to twin boys during her exile. The Ananda Ramayana splits this event. Kusha is born naturally, while the sage Valmiki creates lava entirely from a handful of clothes. We have a text that happily ignores biology, merges different epics, and refuses to let Sita disappear into the ground. The authors frame this entire story through the Deha Ramayana, a mapping of the epic's geography directly onto human anatomy and consciousness. Sita's captivity represents the soul trapped by worldly distraction. The island of Lanka is the fortress of the ego. The Great War becomes the quiet, continuous daily struggle against our own inner ignorance. This internal focus defines the role of the text's many kavachas, rhythmic, protective hymns addressed to every major character. These are recited by practitioners as they commute, work, and navigate the world, integrating the epic's protection into the rhythm of daily life. The Ananda Ramayana shifts the epic from a story to be told into a practice to be lived. It asserts that the internal conflict never truly concludes, and that through devotion, even a final tragic ending can be rewritten.